Oh, and you got your camera. Do I look all pretty? Is my makeup good? Legacy and Continuity, Day 7, our final, our summary, if you will. Solidifying the lessons that we've learned, establishing habits, and hoping for continued growth with the ongoing standard for our leadership conduct. Yes, Shadow. But once again, I have it written down that I'm going to review all the previous lessons, but I'll leave that down to you people. We've got the videos for a reason. But leadership, something that this thing's been hoping to teach you people the entire time. It is not just it's not just for this course, it's for your lifelong existence. Once again, we train you not only to be good as officers with here in the fleet, but better people out there in the world just the same. Leadership will continue on even after this is all done and over. Something I want you guys to do personally is set goals for yourselves, because I know right now some of us are at ranks that, oh hey, I can't get a rank up unless this guy leaves, so on and so forth. Do your best to set goals, even if not unattainable. They're already leaving. So, once again, giving yourself personal leadership goals. Even if you're happy at where you're at, give yourself something to work towards. Something that I saw and was a reason why this was made in the first place. A lot of us felt happy and content where we were. While that is not necessarily the worst thing, having continuous goals keeps you wanting that dedication, that perseverance that I've seen throughout this course. Without those goals, you'll get stagnant. Turn into whatever the fuck officers that you were. This needed to be put in place. Am I lagging? My screen's stuttering.
Bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I still clear within my words?
Nope.
Yes.
Gotcha. But as well as that, having through this process learned the meaning of the Eternal Vigilance Fleet, our constant awareness, our self-improvement, as well as loyalty, not just to ourselves, but to one another and the fleet and our goals as a whole. Something I'm going to ask you guys to reflect on is what's changed in your understanding over the course of this process. Not a question. That is something I'll leave you with to answer for yourself and ask for yourself. And how will you keep growing as a leader without being told to in the future? With that being stated, we will go ahead and get into our first question. Since you weren't here, Sigil, how you do this is you just DM me the answer.
Sure.
This question will go over the core lessons that we've embodied. Which lesson from this course challenged you the most and why? So, I've gotten most of the answers, if not all. Yes, I see you still typing, Sigil, but with that being stated, a big problem that all of you listed, funnily enough, was communication with another. Yes, all of you did that. So, something that we have struggled with since the dawn of this chapter is proper communication. It is not that hard to talk to an individual. Personally, fun fact, I hate public speaking. I feel so tiny and shy when in front of all you people speaking. However, I have a duty to uphold to this fleet, and I'm doing my best, even though it is uncomfortable and or sometimes hard for myself or for you in your specific scenarios. Communication is dreadfully important. Without it, we cannot move forward, we cannot know what's going on, and it is quite a hard thing to help run a chapter without being able to know anything that's going on, really. It frickin' sucks. And we have all seen great examples of this throughout the fleet. Once again, we have 3 videos that either go vaguely or completely over communication and how to better yourself through it. So I recommend reviewing those videos throughout your continued NCO and officerhood. Our next question, going over discipline and consistency, something we learned about on day 4. What habit or standard was the hardest for you to maintain consistently during this course? Such as, what is something I informed you people to do or work on and was hardest for you specifically to maintain during? So already getting a lot of messages from all of you. A lot of them continue to stem either from communication and or how you present yourselves in front of people. Like we went over on day 6, how to properly present yourself because every enlisted looks up to us. Even though you may not think it, they're always watching. They're little ducklings waiting to be imprinted by our actions. We are hopefully their first sight into the Warhammer community, and we want it to be as best as possible. With communication, referring to what I said already earlier, it's really important that we get that down. Something I've nagged and harassed the High Com about all throughout my ranks. Communication. We might suck at it, but it needs to happen. We got to be clear cut and concise. As Gabe says, KISS, that funny acronym. Keep it simple, stupid. Ah. Wonderful answers from all our people. Our third question, going over accountability and growth. What failure or mistake taught you the most about your leadership during or before this course? I'll repeat that one more time. What failure or mistake taught you the most before your leadership? Holy shit. What failure or mistake taught you the most about your leadership during or before this course? I cannot read. I have the words right in front of me.
Just type it that way. I did.
Something that I'm seeing with a lot of your answers. Some of you have, again, struggle with presenting yourself. The best way we can work on that is holding ourselves accountable, what this question is meant for, making sure we realize our faults, having a bit of humility, and fixing ourselves from them. Nobody is perfect and nobody will ever be perfect. However, it does not make you unable to make yourself better than you are now, in a light not only to shine brighter for yourself, but for others. Another thing that I am seeing is neglection of duties. With neglecting a duty, do not always hold yourself accountable. I know that sounds bad. However, you take into account your own personal situation, so on and so forth. With neglecting your duties, do your best. If you cannot actively do them yourself, hand it to another NCO and or another officer. It's really important that the work gets done, even if not by your own hand. We have these officers, you have these NCOs below you to be able to do your work as you wish. It doesn't mean overboard us. However, we are here to help you just as much as you are here to help us not only learn and grow within our leadership capabilities ourselves. Our next question. Why do you believe leadership is... why should you believe leadership is never truly finished even after an event is dismissed? Once again, I repeat, why should you believe leadership is never truly finished even after the training ends? Yes, Watcher.
The way I worded this is stupid, but I think it gets my point across. I was trying to think of big words and my brain blanked. So,
It does.
Yeah.
Remember, keep it simple, stupid. You don't always got to use big words as long as it comes across clear.
Use the biggest of big words.
but I like sounding intelligent sometimes.
You gotta grab Red's intelligence or his words. Gotta go through his vocabulary.
A
A lot of good answers I'm seeing from all of you. All essentially go over the exact same thing. Exactly what I'm looking for. Being that even if we are off duty, out of armor, hanging out with the enlisted, so on and so forth, we are imprinting on these people. Even in just minor friendships or, relationships, so on and so forth, with any member inside or outside of the fleet, you're always imprinting somebody with your actions and how you act. Especially if people such as our enlisted look up to you. Even if off duty and hanging out with some people like I hang out with Gaz sometimes, I still need to keep myself cordial, either about chapter business or so on and so forth. Not talking about things that I shouldn't, whatnot like that. Because regardless of where you're at in this game, somebody's watching and somebody is taking either lessons, notes, and imprinting not only their vision of yourself through your presence, but as well as that perhaps how they should act, because a lot of people on this game do not know how to act. Are there any questions or deliberations on that one? I know I said it a little funky.
No.
Really?
Nada.
Can I not?
Alrighty. Our next question. Who will hold you accountable for maintaining standards after this course? And how will you accept that accountability? I once again repeat, who will hold you accountable for maintaining standards after this course? And how will you accept that accountability? So something I'm
Respect the
seeing
answer.
from a lot of you, a decent few of you are answering this question with the people around me. Yes, they may hold you accountable, but there have been more than enough times that I can't count on the backs of any of my digits where we have actively neglected correcting somebody or so on and so forth. That is why it is important you hold yourself accountable, making sure that you are able to witness your own acts and their faults as yourself, be able to work upon them. While it is important for other people that should be holding you accountable, it is dreadfully more important that you are able to do that yourself. While that responsibility falls upon your shoulders, it does not mean you can't accept help from other individuals with your issues, however.
How many more questions do we have to answer? Just if you're willing.
We've answered 4. He said he had 7.
You've got
Okay, I didn't hear you say that we had 7.
you've got
My
2
bad.
more.
Okay.
We got 6.
So, question 5. Question 5. What
Never mind, I see it.
what habit or behavior will you actively work to improve over the course of your duty within the fleet? Already getting a decent few of the answers. I am happy. I will not deliberate your own personal goals of what to fix upon yourself as to not out you, as, you know, we shouldn't want to do that with people. However, I'm seeing a lot of great outward humility in being able to acknowledge some things that you have had faults on and actively plan to work on in the future. It is important
You
that we
can
hold
out me
ourselves
if you
accountable
wish.
and keep ourselves accountable. So, I'm not on question 5, I was on question 6. So now we're on 7. Final question, everybody. What does the Eternal Vigilance Fleet mean as your role, and how does it protect the fleet and its people? With your current rank, what does the Eternal Vigilance Fleet mean to you in your duty? As well as that, how does it protect the fleet and its people? I got a beautiful answer from Helix. I know some of you are still typing, but the fleet is a family. That's what I'm looking for. A group he has grown to cherish as he climbs the ranks, as it gives him the opportunities to teach, to learn new things. Not only about himself, but others. We keep each other safe by keeping the rules we have in place in check with everyone, and reminding others of our core values. Our core values, once again, are 6 guiding pillars of the fleet, fall under learning, fun, honor, respect, humility, and family. We love each other here. We want to grow from one another. We are a beautiful group that want to give that first ever experience that we got when we got into Warhammer. When we saw that group that let us in with open arms, all that cool stuff, got interested in it, and then the community kind of did what it did. And we want to give people that experience instead of what the rest of the community is throwing out to people right now. But with
Love
that
the
being
community.
stated,
I said we love the community.
We like some of the community.
yeah. So the last thing I have to say to you all, this being the questions are over, however, but the last thing I have to say to you people, some of you have made me proud over the course of this reevaluation. Some of you still have work to do. Some of you know who you are, those listening and those not.
Hi, how you doing?
But leadership was never about being perfect. It's about being accountable. Over this course, I've watched all of you step forward, accept correction, take responsibility even when it wasn't easy and or comfortable. That effort matters. Growth like that doesn't happen by accident. You all earned your ranks at some point or another in the Put the hand down! Sorry. Ruined my whole fucking flow, man. I'm gonna restart myself a little bit here. But leadership was never about being perfect. It's about being accountable. Over this course, I've watched all of you step forward, accept correction, take responsibility even when it wasn't easy or comfortable. That effort matters. Growth like that doesn't happen by accident. All of you have earned your rank before this, one way or another, and at some point we faltered along the way. But I have seen many of you grow throughout this process, and I hope to see that continued growth. Without it, we're probably going to fail. But when today ends and the structure goes away, there's not going to be a schedule of me telling you what to do next, like what you should go out and do. No checklist to hide behind because, yeah. Man, I love stuttering. No checklist to hide behind. What remains is who you choose to be. Leadership doesn't begin when anyone's watching. It shows itself when no one is. The real test starts after this room is going to clear out. I want you to keep the dedication that you've shown here. Do not chase rank or recognition. Chase impact. Chase consistency. Chase being the person that others are going to trust and hold to the standard even when things get difficult. Strive not just for your own goals, but for the fleet as a whole, for our family. Because strong units are built by people who care more about the whole than their own comfort. Our goal has always been bigger than any one person any of us is, to make Warhammer great again. And just as importantly, to make people better along the way. Communities don't survive on hype or fun or so on and so forth. They survive on discipline, respect, and leaders willing to do the right thing even when it isn't the most popular action. I won't pretend to have endless inspirational words. I don't need them. What I do have, however, is belief. Belief in all of you. What you have already shown to me here throughout this course and in what you're capable of becoming. If you stay disciplined, stay humble, and stay consistent, it will actively improve not only yourself, but the fleet. We have been working beautifully, dysfunctionally right now, but if we all, in the words of Brain Rot, I will take a punishment for this, lock in, this fleet will become such a beautiful fucking thing. We've been able to run a great group as it is, being as dysfunctional as we are. If we are able to better ourselves and work together consistently, it will make this chapter prosper into something beautiful and known over the entirety of VR chat, if we so wish it. So carry this forward. Be the example when no one asks you to be. Correct problems before they grow. Protect morale of our troops. Keep that trust up. Look after each other. Hold the line that we hold together, not because someone's watching, but because it's who you wish to be. This course will end today. However, your responsibility is not. Stand tall, stay vigilant, and be the leaders, teachers, guiding lessons for the fleet. Be what the fleet deserves. And with that, you're all dismissed unless you missed any questions, which I will repeat to you. Yes, Watcher!
Can I get the second and the first question, please?
Yes, however, the rest of you are able to go join Go Ginga. Marwin, I'll pull you after the event dismissed for that little extra video portion. So,